back to our 9 o'clock hour of Nightline. I'm Mary and my daughter Toni, and this is Ladies' Night tonight. So it's been.
Can I hear it?
Very good. Well,
are they going to do it?
I don't know if we got that music ready this time, but anyhow. Oh, there you go. Come on.
I love that, don't you? It just makes you smile, you know.
I love Jesus. I love Jesus. I love Jesus.
So our Ladies' Night is a view, and that stands for a vision in every woman, because all of these women that we have sit around the table here, they have a vision that the Lord's put in their heart, and we just love to have different ladies on just to share their heart and their vision, and you know, because we're all, you know, we're all disciples, and we all have a mission field. It just looks different, you know. Everyone's field looks different.
Well, introduce them, and then we will go.
Well, we spoke in our first hour to Kristie Mills, and she and her son Cleve have been singing as well. She had a great testimony. So after this is over, you can rewind if you missed the first part and listen to Kristie's testimony, incredible testimony. Then we also had Diana Toll share about her adoption process. She has 4 beautiful children, 2 adopted and 2 biological. And and Kristie also has an adopted child, which that was not planned out. And you shared about Noonday and how jobs are supplied through that. And now we get to learn more about Tammy in this last hour. So I'm excited to hear what you've been up to. I was going to read our scripture really quick. It comes from 2 Timothy 1:7. And I love this because it says, God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. So I just speak that and bless that over you. And Kristie is going to sing now. He gets the last word. I love that.
Yes.
Thought that he had me in a chain up, I couldn't break free. I fell for his lies, I lost a lot of time, but in the end my God stepped in and saved me. Now that it's over, I found his word can turn it around. 'Cause when he speaks, the darkness flees, it loses power over me. Death gives way to victory, 'cause he gives the last word. So stand your ground and hold on tight, 'cause weeping may endure for the night, but that's alright. He gets the last word. Oh yeah. You may walk through a fire, you may walk through a flood. In the rough, hang tough, don't you give up. Just grab a hold of faith, there'll come a better day. You will see that God has all authority, 'cause what he's promised is true. He'll do what he said he will do. Oh, when he speaks, the darkness flees, it loses power over me. Death gives way to victory, 'cause he gives the last word. So stand your ground and hold on tight, 'cause we may endure for the night, but that's alright. He gets the last word. We may not know how, we may not know when, he gets the last word. And all that matters is that we know how it ends. He gets the last word. He gets the last word. Yes, he does. he speaks, the darkness flees, it loses power over me. Death gives way to victory, 'cause he gets the last word. So hold on tight and stand your ground, 'cause weeping may endure for the night, but that's alright. He gets the last word. Oh, that's alright. He gets the last word. Oh. The last word, yes he does. He gets the last word, oh yeah.
He gets the last word. Yes.
I love that. I remember my family was going through a time and my son was dealing with some things, and I kept saying, God has the final say. You know, God gets the last word. So what a great reminder. Well, our guest, Tammy Carpenter, she was here a couple years ago. She's written several books, and I'm going to read a little bit about her. Tammy discovered her love for equipping and empowering almost 20 years ago when she began her career as a software trainer and consultant. Her professional experience has afforded her opportunities to travel nationwide and train in various industries. Tammy launched Effectual Concepts in 2016 and enjoys bringing life to ideas that produce results. Tammy is a published author, a licensed minister, and a passionate founder of the non-profit organization In Life. Thank you so much again for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here with you ladies again, and the beautiful guests that I'm sharing the platform with tonight.
Beautiful smile.
Oh, thank
I
you.
know, you
Thank
do.
you.
Pretty skin. I love it.
Thank you so much.
So give us an update on your nonprofit organization In Life and tell our viewers exactly what you do with that.
Okay, so I launched In Life in 2012. We became officially incorporated in 2013, so we're in our 7th year. And one of the main things that we've been doing, we started our focus with young adult women. So we would host forums, workshops, retreats focusing solely on young adult women. And from that focus, we also launched a college care program. So since 2015, we've been assisting young women that are residents of Greenville County, that are enrolled in college full-time. We've been sending them off to school with very huge care packages and bins of all types of supplies that they've needed to get through the school year. And it's been amazing because many of the young women have told us that they have not had to buy anything.
Wow.
During
That
the
is
school
amazing.
year. So we are still doing that initiative because of the way things are changing this year because of COVID, with some students may potentially not going back on campus. We're doing it this year, but we're just going to be awarding them gift cards. So that way, if they are not going on campus, they can use those cards to still buy supplies at home or help with books or other things for school instead of the typical things that they would need while they're on campus.
Right.
And we have now expanded our focus. We, instead of stopping at young adult women, we initially were stopping at women at the age of 35. I've learned as I'm gracefully growing older that women don't stop going through transition. So we wanted to expand our reach and our focus to help women through transition at all phases. So me and the staff are working on launching a life transition program. So I've just noticed a lot of women through job loss of family members, relationship status changes, don't always have the support system that they need to successfully move through those places in their life. So we are gathering our resources, building a community to help women successfully move through transition.
I love that.
Yes.
It's helping a lot of women.
Well, share with us a little more about what the College Life Care Program is about.
Well, I am product of a single parent home, and I can remember when I finished high school, me and my mother, we went down on a college tour to a college that I was looking at in Atlanta. and came back, and I remember her saying, well, what if something happens and I can't get down there to you? So I ended up myself going to college locally here in Greenville. So one of the drives for me wanting to help other young adult women is to know that we don't all come from the same playing field. Just because society says that you're an adult, it doesn't mean that you have what you need to successfully move to the next stage of life. So if we can help bear that burden of hygiene products, cleaning supplies, books, anything that we can help to make them lighten that load and focus on their education is what we're wanting to do.
Wow.
Yes.
How can people become a part of that program if they're hearing this and they're like, that would help me so much?
Yeah, I shared our website, which is inlife4me.org. So I think that's up on the screen. So they can go to the website. The forms to complete for the program are on the website, or we also have a contact us link on the website, which they can reach out, fill that out, and it will send us an email, and our coordinator will reach back out to any young lady with the information that she needs to apply for that program.
Yeah. Well, how's your ministry changed in the past few years?
Well, I think the last time I was here, I had just released my last two books, Church Hurt, Heal Me, and Life Moments. So I did release another little book, and I say little because it's I tend to share inspirational moments when I'm talking with my friends, and sometimes in my book some of the taglines or the lessons in the stories turn into inspirational moments.
Is this the book you're talking about?
Well, those are the last two. So Church Hurt Healed Me and Life Moments. I released both of these last year on my birthday. So since then I have also released what I call Tammyisms. So it's just little quotes that I tell people that I have inspired conversations. So if I'm in the midst of conversation with a friend and I hear a thought that turns into a wisdom moment, I pen those thoughts. And I also have a few little stories and scriptures in here. So for people who like to pick up something on their desk throughout the day, just to give them a boost of encouragement or inspiration, this book is what that is for.
Read us a couple of Tammyisms out of there. You got something
Certainly,
you can read?
certainly. The very first one says, growth does not always mean expansion. Sometimes growth requires trimming away because you value quality over quantity.
That is good, because you absolutely think growth bigger, but sometimes, yes, I love that.
Yes. One of my favorite ones is, there's both risk and reward in letting people in and in letting people go.
True.
Yes, yes.
Very good.
And I'll read one more that says, accept who God has called you to be, even when others do not.
That's good, because if we're not us, who will be?
Exactly.
God only made one of each of us.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yes.
That's great, like you said, to have just encouraging words, just to be
Yes.
reminded. And we follow your Instagram, and I see, encouragement that you always put up. You're so good at that.
Can we do a giveaway of your book to the
You-
first caller?
You certainly can.
Hey, if you're the first
So-
caller.
Tell us, okay, let her tell a little bit about what this
Well,
is.
yeah.
Okay, so prior to these two books, in 2017, I released a book titled Life Speaks. And part of the story of Life Speaks, well, Life Speaks is one of my mantras. I believe that God orders our steps, that He prepares places for us before we even get there. Even if it seems like it's the worst thing that ever happened to us, we'll see His hand in it, even if it's at the end of the matter. So one of my personal experiences was with a church hurt situation. But it really was the best thing, one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it repositioned me from one city to another, closer to my family. And I needed to be with my family during that time, because we suffered a very tragic loss with less than a year after I moved back home. So part of the process of that book coming about is, as I began to learn more about myself after that church hurt situation, God began to teach me more things about me, and things that I had closed myself off from, behind the veil of a church status or a church position or looking or living a certain way. So the healing came from not only exposing things in me and healing things in me, but actually lengthening my stakes and strengthening my cords. It's broadened my territory. It's opened me up to relationships that I didn't have before. I'm living a life that I didn't even imagine I had before that happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know that this would definitely encourage someone. So if you feel like this is something that you need to read and you've had church hurt, we were going to take the first caller and give this away.
Yeah.
You know, I've spoke to so many, my sister and I were talking about this recently too, of just how I have friends, you know, in ministry, and I see where they're at today, and if they would not have gone through the hurt they went through in the church, and hurt can come from anywhere, because, you know, we're all flesh. Those that, you know, are in the church are humans. And just they've learned so much from it, and now they operate in so differently in their ministry. The Lord's just expanded them so much. So I think I love the title anyway.
You know, I heard something recently. We're so easy to take offense, and the only way you can receive offense is to take it. Just don't take it.
Yes.
You know,
and one of the greatest things I learned is, you know, often the times that those of us that have been recipients of the offense, at least my story was, I was once that was on the other side of dishing the offense. So that was part of my healing, seeing who I was before that happened.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a beautiful
back forth, huh?
Yes, it was a beautiful process.
I love
It was
to
a
hear
beautiful
healing
process.
from that. So what exactly is Women Who Win, and tell us more about the interview sessions you've been having on Facebook.
Yes, so I have a public page on Facebook called Simply Tammy, and at the beginning of May, I started hosting interview segments. So I know that part of my ministry is to encourage and inspire women. So I just got an idea from the Lord to be able to speak to women who don't mind being transparent and sharing their stories. And we've been having, it's like girl chat, very casual conversations, but we actually broadcast those live on Facebook on the Simply Tammy page. And the testimonies that have come in from the women that have been watching have been phenomenal, because you look at a person from the outside, or you hear their testimony or their story, but you don't know the path that they had to take to get there. So Women Who Win is phenomenal women from across the country, not just local, who have been willing to kind of sit in a virtual platform with me and let me ask them questions about their life, and them being transparent and sharing their struggles and their triumphs to let other women know that it doesn't matter where you start from, that with Him you can win.
Amen.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. You know, and that's where we grow, is by sharing our stories. That's why I love Ladies' Nights, one of my favorite night lines that we do, because that's what we're doing. We're just sharing our stories, and it's important to keep sharing our God stories. So what's the best way if people want to be more involved in your ministry, or just follow you and be encouraged, and even how people can get a hold of your books?
To make it a quick one easy way, if they on Facebook, they can follow me on my Simply Tammy page. My email address is there, simplytammy543@gmail.com. So if they contact me, I can kind of direct them based off of what they need. But if they're interested in the nonprofit organization, going to inlifeforme.org will connect them there as well.
Lots of ways to get a hold of you.
Yes,
I love it.
yes.
Well, we got another song by Cleve, Kristie's son, and he's going to be singing Haven't Seen It All.
Have you been praying, but you still have no answers? Have you been pouring out your heart for so many years? Have you been hoping that things would have changed by now? Have you cried the faith you have through so many tears? Don't forget the things that He's done before, and remember He can do it all once more. It's like the brightest sunrise waiting on the other side of the darkest night. Don't ever lose hope. Hold on and believe. Maybe you just haven't seen it, just haven't seen it yet. You're closer than you think you are. Only moments from the break of dawn. All His promises are just up ahead. Maybe you just haven't problem. He sees the best in you when you feel at your worst. So in the questioning, don't ever doubt his love for you, 'cause it's only in his love that you'll find a breakthrough. Oh, it's like the brightest sunrise, waiting on the other side of the darkest night. Don't ever lose hope. Hold on and believe. Maybe you just haven't seen it, just haven't seen it yet. You're closer than you think you are. Only moments from the break of dawn. All his promises are just up ahead. Maybe you just haven't seen it, just haven't seen it yet. Maybe you just haven't seen it, just haven't seen it yet. He is moving with the love so deep. Hallelujah for the victory. Good things are coming even when we can't see. We can't see it, but we believe that he is moving with the love so deep. Hallelujah for the victory. Good things are coming even when we can't see. We can't see it, but we believe that it's like the brightest sunrise, waiting on the other side of the darkest night. Don't ever lose hope. Hold on and believe. Maybe you just haven't seen it, just haven't seen it yet. You're closer than you think you are. Only moments from the break of dawn. All his promises are just up ahead. Maybe you just haven't seen it, just haven't seen it yet. Maybe you just haven't seen it, just haven't seen it yet. Maybe you just haven't seen it, just haven't seen it yet. Maybe you just haven't seen it.
Another great song from Cleve. We're so thankful that they were here tonight and just sharing in song, and Kristie and Tammy and Diana sharing their heart. We've got lots of people watching on Facebook. My friend Sarah said, wonderful program, enjoying it very much. Susan Wells is watching. Someone said, Tammy, you look so beautiful, sister. And then someone else says, you do it, Tammy. So, and they're loving what you're sharing on here. And then we've had people earlier just saying thanks for sharing and sharing your heart, Kristie, and what you've been through. So I love this. I love hearing from everybody. So thank you for just coming onto Facebook and commenting.
And we've had some to call the prayer partners back here. One that wants a closer walk with Jesus. One is Mary's having stomach troubles, and here's somebody even believing for a new home. Well, we're just going to agree with you. And here's somebody desire to start a business. That could be important during this time, huh?
Yes, it could.
Yes.
So many requests,
Just
and
lots of
we're going
requests.
to agree together in those. And Diana, I wanted you to show some of the bags that these artisans make as well. You had shared some of the jewelry and the stories behind them, and just seeing those pictures and how they dye the thread, and it's providing jobs for people who otherwise wouldn't have a job. So I just think these are amazing.
So these are made in India out of goat leather, and they start really light. So, like if you look, sorry, it's tight. If you look at this one, mine has been used. I've been using it for the last year, but this is how it came.
Oh.
And this is just from the oils in my skin. It darkens.
Oh.
So it's
So I
really
love those, and those
yes.
are all handmade.
All
and
handmade.
Just the story behind those are so incredible. And again, if you're interested in helping support that ministry, you can go to our Nightline page. There's a link there that you can click on and see more of what Noonday has to offer, and the blessing that you could be to that company. And Tammy, how much time do we have? We've got about 2 minutes. Why don't you just, you're such a great encourager. I'd love for you to just encourage our viewers during this time that can feel so uneasy and unsettled. And then just pray over them, and we want to agree that the Lord meets these needs too that have called in.
Yes. So one of the things that the Lord spoke to me in one of my books is that God's sovereignty is not weakened in moments beyond our control. And if we think about the time that we're living in right now, there's so much happening that we seem like we can't put a grasp on in our own hands or in our own might, but the same God that he was before all of this happened is still hovering over your situation. He is looking over your family. So his hand is still certain towards your life. So for whoever is watching, if you are in a moment of uncertainty, God is certain. His love is certain. His foundation is certain. His peace is certain. So rely on him. Lean in him. I was able to share with a group of women recently in a retreat that from Isaiah 40:31, that, those that wait upon the Lord, he's going to renew our strength. We should mount up on wings as eagles, run and not get weary. But what he had me to share, the waiting, that the WAIT is us waiting on him, but that he's also able to handle our weight. So I have a little niece that when she wants to be picked up, she'll come up to you and she'll lift her hands and she'll say, "Up, please." So what I encourage you is, when you are in the midst of something that you can't handle, look up to your Father and say, "Up, please." He can handle it. It doesn't matter if he has your sister in his hand. It doesn't matter if he has your brother in his hand. If you say, "Up, please," he's ready to rescue you. And he's certain, and he will do just what he said.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you so much. What a great encouragement. And we just lift up these prayer requests that have been called in as well.
Thank you.
I love that. Lift them up and we say, "Lord, up, please
Yes,
take
God.
these." And we thank you for answering each call. And we just bless every viewer that watched tonight.
Thank you for
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.